What's good, y'all? It's your boy Lazarus. Back at it again with another video. Snap. And today, well, got another one, man. Got another one. Miss Cynthia here is trying to get on Hafiz. And this is another thing, the reason why I think women should stop paying attention towards clips and just understand that you're not taking the whole content. Yeah, like you're not taking in the whole content, or you're not reviewing these guys and what they actually be doing on their channels, because they gonna be pretty much hating on Hafiz, talking about how nothing he's saying is actually gonna help men, when this whole channel is about helping men. It's like they don't even know that. Like they don't even know that.
In the past, men were valuable. I talked about this before. This is my theorizing. Men were valuable if women couldn't work to women, because we're more valuable. And what I mean by that, if women couldn't work and they couldn't own property, this is the simplest one: own property. A lot of places around the world they can own property. If you wanted a house as a woman, you needed a man. So therefore, there comes a point in your life where it's like, I want a house, I got to get a man. So there's value in a man just having a house, right? There's value in just a man in general, because he will give you things you don't have access to. So women in the past, their desires were totally different from women today. A lot of studies in the past, when you ask women, like, okay, what do you want in a partner? Job, house? That's all they really cared about, right? Most marriages, I would argue, in the past weren't these modern love marriages, right? They were function marriages where they served the function. You know, man protected, provided, women nurtured and support, right? So in the past, most guys didn't have that great style. Most guys didn't have to be in great shape. You know, most guys didn't have to learn charisma and charm and know how to read all these. Most guys didn't. If you were a guy, I guess you could find a girl. The world changed. The world changed, and then women became more competent. Women became successful. The world became more egalitarian. And naturally speaking, this is across almost all female animals. Women are hypergamous, right? And they usually want something similar to or greater than they are. And so now when you have a lot of women who are on levels where they may have not been in the past, especially financially, a lot of guys aren't as appealing. And so
Hold on, I want to pause it right here real quick, because this is the plight of the expendable black male. And I feel like this white dude can't even relate to what this dude is saying. Because he's basically saying women, unless women are destitute, unless women have no options, unless women have no ability to leave a relationship or get anything on their own, he is rendered non-desirable and useless, essentially.
That's what he just said, yeah.
He's the type of man that welfare can take out of the home.
Yep.
This is an expendable male. Only an expendable male would sit up here and cry about this and say back in the day, because women couldn't even own property without a man, she wasn't looking for a man.
See, that's the thing. That is the big thing that y'all women don't really understand, and I don't think y'all will ever really get. And it's sad. Y'all want to provide for yourselves, but you don't want to provide for your man and your children. Let me say that again. Y'all want to provide for yourselves, but you don't want to provide for your men and your children. And I'm not saying that necessarily y'all just completely just don't want to do it. It's just that y'all get tired easily. Y'all get annoyed easily. Y'all don't want to deal with stuff. That's just how y'all are as females. And am I knocking y'all for that? Heck no. Live your life, sis. But understand that there is consequences when you want to become a boss for yourself, but not work for your children or your man. Like that's different. Now, I'm not saying that, oh, a man needs to sit up here and need you to cater to him. I'm not saying that at all. But y'all women are two-faced. Y'all very two-faced. Y'all would say, oh, I want to be taken care of. But then y'all be like, I want to take care of myself. That doesn't, you can't have both. You cannot have both. I don't understand why people be thinking this and think that it's smart and it's logical. It's not. You can't have a person that provides for you and you can't just provide for yourself. You just cannot have the best of both worlds. Because you're thinking that, oh, me getting money myself is having respect for myself. But while you're getting money for yourself, it's somewhat showing that you don't have respect for your man because you don't fully trust your man to take care of you. So, and that's going to show. That's what I'm saying. You can't have the best of both worlds. It's going to show. It's not like he's going to bring it out of you and make you mad one day, probably. But 9 times out of 10, it's just going to show because you're going to act like you don't need him or you don't want him. Me personally, I would like to be depended on. You know what I'm saying? Even though I may not be at that full level yet, but I would love for a woman to depend on me. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like she can't rely on me, and I always feel like she has to go out and work just to make it herself, so she can take care of herself. Because she's thinking that, oh, I'm not gonna stay. And that's the thing. Women don't want to put in the work to keep their man no more. Because they think they're always going to go out and cheat. They're always going to go out and do whatever they want to do. So I'm going to do what I want to do. And that's where the big disconnect is between men and women. And I do agree that men need to stop. Definitely when they have a girl that's doing everything they can to be with that said man. And they go out and leave. You got bigger things to focus on than extra coochie, bro. Like, I can understand if you're not in any committed relationship with any chicks. I can understand that. But it's hard to even pull that out without making a woman think that you're in a relationship with them. It's hard to pull that off. Sometimes that's why I say you got to be truthful and tell them that, hey, I'm dating multiple chicks. And if she ain't going to be cool with that, that's cool. But some of y'all be like, oh, I want that coochie so bad, so I'm going to lie. It's just not smart. It's just not smart at all.
And basically, he didn't have to do anything. He didn't have to level up like his shirt says.
Don't even understand the meaning of why his shirt is like that. Because now he's having men level up. But women weren't like that back in the day, which is very true. But I believe that back in the day, even though we still didn't want to own anything, we just wanted to work and that was it. But women started wanting more things because they were seeing the other female counterparts getting better things than them. And social media has made it worse. Social media has made it 10 times worse to where women constantly on a daily, when they're on their phone, they are seeing another woman having success, having happiness, having all of this and that. They're constantly seeing it. And the funny thing is, they're not seeing multiple women. They're seeing the same women because it's the woman they follow. So they're constantly seeing the same woman over and over and over again. And then they'll probably find a new one, probably, but it's not likely. And they don't understand how rare that woman's situation is because they constantly seeing it all the time. Us men, when we go on social media, we know for a fact 9 times most of all that crap on there is not even that true. But women take it so literal, take it so serious, and be like, I'm gonna be like that one day. No, you're not. Relax. That's like me saying I'm gonna be rich one day. And yeah, that could happen, but it's not gonna be possible. Like, I could pass away tomorrow. You feel me? Like, people don't understand that you don't need to move with caution, but you need to move with understanding. You don't need to move with caution, but you do need to move with understanding. And typically, these women don't want to understand man. They don't even want to understand themselves at times. But because, like I just explained earlier, they want a man to provide for them, but then they don't want a man to provide for them. They want to provide for themselves.
He didn't have to be in shape. He didn't have to be attractive. And now, because black women are women, and I want to say black women because he's the only one complaining, this white man can't relate to him. And he's actually gonna tell this dude that he needs to do what his shirt says. And
look at his face. Look at.
He's not gonna tell him. He's confirming this. The reason why Hafiz is taking up these points is because he's constantly getting questions every day from the men that don't want to put in the work to make themselves a better man. They're not willing to put in that work. So Hafiz is giving his questions. The questions he's getting given to them, and they're thinking that, oh, these are his questions. No, these are the questions he's getting from the men that are constantly commenting on his videos about, oh, why women are like this? Like, why I gotta work so hard just to get a woman nowadays? Da, da, da. All those dudes that's complaining nowadays.
The white man face. You can tell he disagreed with everything dude's saying.
Yep. He cannot relate to what this dude is saying. He can't relate to him. So, first of all, if you're the most desired male group on the face of the planet, which is what black men will say, why are you sitting here complaining? Her actions shouldn't matter. You're the most desired man. But see, the problem that black men are having is, in a society where black women are able to work and buy their own homes and finance or buy their own cars, he becomes expendable. He doesn't know, black men don't know how to become valuable to women who have options. They don't know how to compete.
It's not the fact that we don't know how to compete. That's the thing, because that's a big thing. We know how to compete. That's the reason why we're most desirable is because we perfected our lying game, if y'all haven't noticed. Because we sell y'all a dream. We tell y'all what y'all want to hear just so we can get the coochie. And it works with every race of women. That's why most men are desirable. Because white men typically don't know how to move that towards, like, because the way you talk to a black woman isn't the same way you would talk to a white woman. It's just not. And that's why it comes off differently. You feel me? It comes off differently. Black men, we know how to switch between the modes. We know how to switch between talking smooth and charismatic with a white chick. And we know we have to have that you know what I'm saying, when it comes to talking with black chicks. We can't just be as, just chill and charismatic all the time with certain black women. I'm not saying that doesn't work with black women at all. It's just that certain black women, you gotta have a little bit more to it. And white men sometimes don't know how to do the same thing, or Hispanics as well. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing. But this woman right here, bro, I'm just like, it's not the fact that he is expendable. I don't know why she's trying to clown on him, but just hearing how they talk is just sad.
Guys in the past, who, if you were living in the 1920s, you would have easily found the girl. But in 2020, no. And so, yes, the guys can change. It's just that men have not been historically used to putting in this much work for simple women interaction, if you'd ask me. So that's where it's a little bit of a disconnect with guys.
I think you're right. I think you're right. I think the flip side of that is that women a lot of times will be in these crappy marriages where they would be abused and not have any way out of that, right? So I think that's the flip side, is that as the world became more modernized, there became some more checks and balances. So, again, I'm not trying to be harsh. I hear you, but your shirt says it. Time to level up, fam. You having trouble? Let's get you.
Did Brad just have to tell this bandit to level up?
Pretty much.
And it's funny because you could tell they just skipped through it, just got to this part just so they can roast this dude. It's crap. It's trash. That's exactly why I started from the beginning of this video. I started from the beginning No, not the full beginning, because it was just one part that just didn't make no sense. I didn't see how it tied to the rest of this video because the intro was just weird. But I started from this beginning part right here where they just took this clip out of context because my boy Hafiz is out here really trying to help men, and they don't like go to this dude's channel. Just go to the roommate's channel, bro. Go to the roommate's channel, and it talks about this. The only reason why Hafiz is bringing these questions up is because he's getting them, and he wants him to say the same thing he be saying on his channel. Like, if they ain't gonna listen to him, maybe they'll listen to him. And that's how we have to work. We all have to say the same thing. And now, I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna end off this video because I don't want, you know how this video is like over 42 minutes. And it's just them getting on about all these things. And I'm just going to say this. Woman, understand this. You can't have the best of both worlds. You cannot have a man that's going to take care of you and you taking care of yourself. You're going to have to trust that man to a degree. You're just going to have to. And you have to understand that most men, I'm not going to say all men, but most men desire to have sex or an interaction with a lot of women. It's just inherently our biology. Me personally, I have it too. It's in me too. Don't get it twisted now. I don't like to exercise. That's just the thing. I can't handle, I don't want to handle, my bad. It's not that I can't handle it. I don't want to handle multiple women. It's just not the way I like to move. It's just not the way I like to move. It's a headache trying to remember. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say I can't handle it. Forget it. I can't handle dealing with multiple chicks. That's just annoying. You got multiple different personalities. You got different ways of how they interact. You got different things you gotta remember that they tell you. I ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? One chick and all her problems is enough for me. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. And that's what I've been using to hold back my urge to want to sleep with multiple chicks. Because when you keep doing that, all you're gonna do is just confuse the chick into thinking that you actually care about them when you haven't even remembered a darn thing that they said. You just said what you needed to say, so you can get the box. That's really, and typically I can do that. I can't just say what I need to say just to get the box for that moment. But I'm like, is it really worth that moment? No, it's not. It really isn't. It really isn't. Sometimes the box be trash. So, is it really worth all the? No, I'm gonna tell you straight up. No, it's not worth it. It's not worth it, bro. It really isn't. So, just to get back towards these women on this panel, they're not helping black men or black women understand that your careers aren't cool, but you gotta understand that most women with careers understand that they'll have to take care of their man and their children. Black women, I don't know what is up with y'all or other women. Y'all don't want to take care of a man and children. Y'all want the man to take care of you and the children, and you to have your own money to yourself so you can go out and go on girl trips and stuff. That is so useless. Your money is so useless because you spend it on things that are unnecessary, like those unnecessary hairstyles, unnecessary makeup, unnecessary clothes, just so you can look a certain way, so you can be stunting on these 304s, as y'all would say. Like, it's not worth it. It doesn't benefit your children. It doesn't benefit your husband. It doesn't. Tell me, woman, how your money benefits a man. And actually, let's have an actual discussion about how your money actually benefits a man if you want him to pay for everything. Or mostly everything. Like, you guys are both making $60,000 a year, but you want him to pay everything. He pays like 80%, you pay like 20%. And you get to have all your money. Where is your money going to? Where is it going to? And that's why y'all need a plan. That's why y'all investments need to go to your children. Now me, I'm the type of person, I know how to lead in that type of direction, because some men are on that whole, it's either two types of men nowadays most of the time. But I'm a part of the third one, which I'm gonna explain. There's that first man that doesn't know how to provide, doesn't know how to take care, but he knows how to say what he needs to say to get the set box. There's that type of man. There's the man that knows how to do, knows how to say what he needs to say, but he only knows how to provide and move around with his money. He doesn't know what to move with the woman's money. And then there's the third dude. The third dude knows how to do all the things that the two men can do, and knows how to maneuver and use the woman's money to benefit the family and convince and understand the woman, because you got to pretty much not in a way get her to understand that her money is benefiting the family, because women typically don't know where to put their money in. Typically they're lost at it, so they end up blowing most of it. You feel me? So it's not really a smart decision most of the time when it comes for them to move their money. So that's why most men need to know finances and become a little bit more financially literate. So once they start, accumulating money, and their girls accumulating money, they know exactly where they're moving that money towards. And the woman will be more reasonable like that, and she can have her funds to herself, but it's also she's making investments too into her family. And that's where you have to guide it towards. But black women, they want to act like they know how to do that when they don't. See, when it comes into the other cultures, other races, they listen to their man when they're instructed to invest their money into this and this and that. Women, they be like, no, I'm gonna do it myself. I know what I'm doing. You don't need to tell me where I need to put my money. I'm putting my money where I want to put my money. And that's because they don't want to feel controlled. They want to have a backup plan and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because they're afraid of the man going out and cheating. But there's just that one thing that women don't want to accept. It's just that men typically, once they get horny, they want to sleep with every woman. And they don't care about what the woman, it's like a video game. You don't really care about the story, but you like playing the gameplay. You like the gameplay. You know what I'm saying? It's not like TV shows. There's a reason why most dudes will play trashy games if the gameplay is good. There's a reason why. It is because if it's fun, we'll have fun with it. But if it's not fun, we just won't tolerate it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how men view women. We view women pretty much like video games. If the story's good and the gameplay good, oh yeah, we're gonna be playing it for a cool minute and make it the main video game. But then at times we'll go play that other game that doesn't really have a good story, but the gameplay is really cool and we enjoy it. So we'll play that from time to time. And that's how men typically move. We're not like women where it comes to like TV shows, because TV shows, men and women typically think the same way, and that's what women want men to think of sex in the same way, or intercourse. They want them to think that, oh, it's the same like a TV show. If you find it interesting, then you keep watching it over and over again. Men, we're not like that. Typically we watch that show one time, and that one time only. We won't rewatch a show like a female will do. Females, they love rewatching shows. They love rewatching shows. Definitely if it's an interesting one. They love rewatching it. But men, we're not like that. We don't typically like to rewatch shows like that. I'm not saying we don't. That's just that we don't typically do. We go on to the next thing. And that's how men move with women. We just go on to the next thing. And that's one thing that women just don't want to accept. They just never want to accept that. Now, I'm not saying that man will never love you because he's sharing his body with other women. Typically, I think since how crazy it is for you to get an STD nowadays, how easy it is too, it's just not wise. I don't think it's worth all the medical insurance to be wasted all on that, because that's typically where everybody's medical insurance is going to now. So I'm trying to get guys on the right path too, and understanding that it's bigger than just them. It's the family unit as well. You feel me? It's not just them, but some people will never see it as that way. And I understand that. But I don't like it when women try to get on black men that are actually trying to help black men. But they're not fully understanding the context because they're just seeing a clip, going to the video, getting a certain section out of the interview, and want to talk about that. Like this is 56 minutes in the actual interview. This is 56 minutes in. So they've been talking for a cool minute before they got to this topic. But she was like, oh, let's go straight to this topic and forget about all the other things that they probably were talking about in the beginning and how this man probably introduced him to his show. Why would this man even invite Hafiz to his show to complain about women? And that's what all the women that come to this video see. They thinking that, oh, this dude came to this show to complain about women. No. It literally says, is the red pill and manosphere toxic? Man's improvement and faith with the roommates Hafiz. Crazy. It's literally crazy. And it's mostly I see our black women taking it out of context because they're not trying to watch the whole thing or even go in the background and see what these men be doing. Because if she's seen what Hafiz has posted and what he tries to do for men, and that he tells men the exact same thing that this dude is saying, he's just reiterating these questions he's getting from his community to him so they can have something to talk about. That's how you have good conversation. That's how you keep an interview going for the content. It's a smart play. But these women actually genuinely think that this man is complaining to them. No. They not. And it's not like this says for entertainment purposes either. If you look at it, it doesn't say she's asking for donations. So, I'm just saying. You gotta see in between the lines, man. You gotta see in between the lines. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, though. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Deuces.
Yeah. Yeah. Kingdom grind. We don't want no dimes. I'm rich this time. Pay the crap, no mind. Traffic work, we work. I'm a lady line. You who a perf. He be right on time.